The scene where Kong takes Carl and uses him as a weapon and then proceeds to yeet Carl across the fucking field. I felt bad because I was the only one laughing in my room.
Well, if there can be no arrangement, then we are at an impasse.
I'm afraid so. I can't compete with you physically, and you're no match for my brains.
You're that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Yes?
Morons.
Really?
Welcome to Morons Mince Movies. I am your host, Moron Sam Munoz, and I'm here with my fellow morons, Ublester Peñalosa II and Akam. He rides Godzilla all the way to the sunset. Arturo.
Which is a possible thing. We've just learned.
Yes. And today we are mincing Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. Or I hear that the X is silent.
I just heard that
Godzilla
from the director.
Kong.
Yeah.
The new
I've been
Empire.
calling it Godzilla Kong the whole time.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense as much as this film makes no sense. But anyways, let's get into it.
This film makes perfect sense.
Hey, before we start, is there anything you guys want to tell the viewers?
Yeah. Thank you first off to all our new subscribers.
Yes,
and
welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
We welcome you and we drink to thee.
Hell yeah! Cheers! Cheers to
cheers,
all that.
cheers to all you new subscribers and whatnot. And thank you for continuing to watch here on Morons Mince Movies. And please, for all you new folks, please like and subscribe. And
yes, that would be awesome.
And hit that little bell thing to get the notifications or something like that.
You know what that is?
You know the drill. We've heard that shit. Anyways, let's get on with the show.
Yes.
Let's talk about this movie.
General
we are
thoughts.
mincing.
Yeah, we all saw it Thursday night, right?
Yes. General thoughts. Should we start with you, Arturo?
I fucking had such a great time.
I knew you were.
It was fucking awesome.
No way.
A surprise.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I love the
honestly.
Godzilla movie.
Arturo's usually the kind of guy who says like,
so strict on movies.
yeah, he's
and,
very negative.
scripts.
Always says this movie sucks.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, I went into it with an open mind and a relaxed heart.
I'm with you, man.
I had a great fucking time. Yeah. So I actually saw it in 3D.
What?
Because it was the only available screening during the
man.
right time frame with like close enough to home after my son's night routine.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Was it real
I haven't
3D
seen
or
a
just
3D, real 3D.
Real 3D.
I haven't seen a 3D movie since I think
Difference from that fake
the
3D.
first
Yeah, no,
the
this is
bullshit
real.
3D. Yeah,
There's
no,
more real in it.
I felt like I was in the movie.
It's called
Yeah.
Disney 3D.
Yeah.
Like when like the birds were in the air, I felt them fly through my hair. Water spraying at me. Like the seat got warm.
What the
Oh,
heck?
that might have been because I pressed the warm.
So
No, but yeah,
overall, you had a good time with the movie.
Dan Stevens stole the show, but we want to get into that a little bit later. There are some nitpicks I actually have about the film as a whole. It's definitely more of a Kong film than it is Godzilla film. But overall, I had a really good time.
I am going to say that the 10-year-old version of me fucking had a blast. And the 25-year-old version of me also had a really good time. And the 40-year-old version of me had a really good time as well.
Hell yeah.
Listen, once I let go of certain things, I'm not saying I'm giving this, your applaud
Logic.
may be premature there, my friend Arkham, because I'm not saying it's enough to boost its grade, but me personally, subjectively, I enjoyed myself, man, because I had to really let go, Sam. and listen, before we say anything else, I'll move on. But I just want to say, after the last few months of watching Oscar fucking movies, where it's, hey, let's look at a Nazi family living next to a concentration camp. Hey, here's this movie of a child in an adult's body who's discovering herself. Hey, let's watch this movie of fucking death. This was a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
There was no space Jesus. There was no life water. It was just a monkey and a lizard fighting a bunch of monsters.
Yep.
And that was enough for me,
So,
man.
before we get to you, Sam, if I may, so when you were talking about Academy Award-winning movies, because Godzilla -1 is an Academy Award-winning movie.
That's true,
Yeah.
but not
So,
this
let me
Godzilla.
get to this. So one of the really good things going for this film was the fact that it's following Godzilla -1, and there's a lot of attention being drawn to Godzilla films. But a really negative thing is that it's following Godzilla -1.
Yep.
Yes.
Because that was fucking
If
that
there
was an amazing
such a
film.
thing as a polar opposite. It would be this.
Yeah. So I just wanted to establish that real quick
All right.
before I got
Sam,
into Sam's.
what did you think of this movie?
This movie was bad, dude. Come on, guys.
It was great.
A positive is the visual effects.
Oh yeah.
I would say that in terms of all the Godzilla movies of this legendary series of movies, all the visual effects have been really good, and I think this one is just at that same standard. So in terms of visual effects, it's good. But in terms of the story of just the human characters are terrible.
What?
I do not
Trapper
disagree
is
with any of that.
amazing.
The excessive-
Trapper was amazing.
Listen, here's the thing about Trapper.
Excessive explaining of the plot, you know, it's just, oh my
The
God.
exposition in this
It's just
whatever the budget was for exposition, it exceeded it.
Yes.
I'm sure they were like, guys, we're out of fucking money. We can't do this anymore. And they were like, fucking have her explain what's happening out loud to no one in
It
particular.
is amazing
Fucking
how
all
these
right.
humans knew exactly what the monsters were thinking.
Yeah. It appears
Kong-
Godzilla is upset that his sink is not the way he left it.
Kong just he just like
They know. They've
he
been
just
studying
walks
for
away,
years.
starts running
They've
away.
been
It's like-
studying them for years.
and then they go
have
about
sign
explaining.
language.
Hold on, they go about explaining an entire story of what Kong is about to do. Is like amazing. They got that just by him walking away.
Yeah, because they've been studying him for years, Sam.
There also
years.
there's other stuff going on. I will say there's the electromagnetic storm that happened when the underground came. So anyone fucking wondering what the hell's going on? The movie starts off with
You need to
Kong
watch all of them, by the way.
being chased by a
Like-
bunch of
like-
space hyenas
like,
from
like,
Hollow Earth.
You really do need to watch because
They're not space hyenas.
I was talking to my brother-in-law, and because he hasn't seen like the last three, and he's like, "But I heard there's portals now. I'm confused." I'm like, "Well, if you watch the movies, it gradually gets here." I did enjoy this. Didn't just throw you off the deep end. Like it's built off of what's already been established.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, I mean that wasn't
give
my
them that
problem with it. I mean, going back, I guess spoiler alert. I mean, this is a spoiler review.
Surprise.
But I mean, there's really nothing to spoil. The movie, by the way, spoils itself in the middle. We'll get to that. Let's go back to the beginning. The movie starts off kind of good, I thought. Like the whole sequence,
it's very good. Yes,
the whole
yes,
sequence with Kong being chased by the whatever. They're not space hyenas, but they're like these hyena-looking monsters. It's not space. They're not in space. They're Earth. They're we're in Earth here.
Within
Earth
Earth,
hyenas.
deeper.
Yeah, but it's not space.
Anyway,
Anyway,
who said space?
this guy.
What the fuck did you say? His name?
So that scene was fine.
Yeah.
There's not cool little intro and
When
everything
he
like that.
rips it in half and the blood just sprays all over.
Yeah.
I like
That
this
was
reaction
awesome.
though afterwards.
He's
where
like,
he's just
"Fuck."
like,
You wash this off.
God. Like, sorry, dude. This is gross.
It made it so relatable.
I do
love
have
that.
to say the whole thing with Kong, and this is definitely more of a Kong movie, as you said. And the parts that I found the most interesting were the parts when there were no humans at all, where you actually get a little
I
bit
agree.
of what's like.
Yeah.
Going on with Kong, and you get, it's all about his facial expressions and his body movements,
dialogue.
and there's no dialogue. You're getting
There's
more
no
of
translation for the animals either, which I really
which
loved.
was good.
Yeah.
That part I liked.
Yeah.
The thing is, like every time you had these kind of good moments, it was fucked up by going back to the humans, who were the most uninteresting, the most terrible characers. Even the little
Trapper
girl was bad.
No,
I mean,
Trapper
God.
was awesome. Trapper was
the-
hilarious.
I didn't understand.
No, he's bad.
Here's what I couldn't
great.
get past. First of all, he's this like animal vet that specializes in these
Like,
exotic
he's-
animals.
yeah.
And then they land on this exotic hollow Earth where they don't know anything about the plant life or animal life.
they just
and a
start-
giant mosquito lands on him, and he's all like, no, dude, let it bite you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it bite you. I know what I know about malaria and everything that can be spread through mosquitoes.
Yeah.
But trust me, I'm a
No,
veterinarian.
the film established that
Let
he'd been
this
there
bug
before.
bite
though.
you.
The film established that he'd been there before.
Now, at
With
one
her, they
point,
have a past.
At one point, the Navy guy calls him Ace Ventura. This implies
That was a good joke,
either it
actually.
was, but the implications are either that they live in a universe with Ace Ventura movies in them, or in this universe. Stay with me here. Ace Ventura is an actual pet detective that is now in his 60s or 70s and has assisted with the hunt for what?
Ooh.
The animal known as Godzilla and Kong.
I like this.
So
Wow.
I like
I'm throwing
that
it out there.
interpretation.
My
I like
God.
that
In
a
this
lot.
universe,
Yeah.
Ace
Make
Ventura
that-
is
make
I
that
think
the
the
winner.
next movie should be Godzilla X Kong X Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
Yes.
Yep.
And when nature calls.
Where nature calls.
Part 2.
I want to say with regards to Godzilla though, who we haven't really talked about much because the movie is more about Kong.
Yeah.
Godzilla is pretty sidelined here, and it was kind of shitty
was.
to be honest.
Yeah,
like
that was my biggest nitpick.
his fights with like these other kaijus are just kind of like, and you know he's gonna go fight this, and of course the humans are explaining everything.
Yep.
He's gonna go fight this kaiju because he wants to get the energy that this kaiju has, and this and everything like that. It's like, how the fuck do these humans know what Godzilla's gonna do? But anyways. He fights like some like I don't know what the fuck that thing
First one
was.
is like a fish.
It's
no,
like
it's
a
an
crab looking
Yeah,
thing.
the first thing.
No,
first
the
one.
eel was
yeah,
later
yeah,
on.
this one was
like
the
in
crab
Rome.
looking.
Yeah,
yeah.
it kills that thing
Which-
pretty quickly.
The
You don't know.
destruction in Rome, by the way, I love how like easily hundreds of thousands of people died.
Yeah,
in the
and nobody
first
gives a
5
shit.
minutes.
Nobody gives a
Not
shit.
even like in the entire
Yeah.
movie. In the first fucking 5 to 10 minutes of this movie, easily over 100,000 people die.
Yeah,
And there's no. I mean,
the
obviously
humans
they're not
don't
gonna-
care. They're just like,
they don't
Godzilla's
mention
sleeping in the
it.
Coliseum.
They're not like, gee, yeah.
Maybe we should stop with these kaijus from destroying our civilization.
Maybe just move out of Rome
Yeah.
and live somewhere else.
Why?
No longer in the coast.
That's something that was like me personally. I wanted okay, so because a lot of destruction is happening in these films, right?
Yeah.
And I want, especially after the big climactic of Godzilla versus Kong, where they leveled fucking Tokyo.
Yes.
I was really hoping for a look at like, okay, a direction where some of the destruction needs to be held responsible or something along the lines of that,
Nope.
where they're
A
more
mention,
aware.
something,
like
yeah.
all of the lines of like Man of Steel into Batman vs Superman, or even Avengers: Age of Ultron made references to like
Yeah,
wanting
yeah,
to
they
like
talked about.
So I was hoping for that to get more of a grounded approach, I guess. And no, everything just kept going to being destroyed, and everyone's just like,
No one bats an eye. No
like
one,
when they were wrecking fucking Brazil at the end of the movie
yeah.
and just destroying all the hotel buildings just right there where that those are full. I'm
More,
sure.
more
Like, yeah.
hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people died
Like,
in that last
I
fight.
was
there.
like, oh fuck,
I'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
interested in seeing the
But
death count. And
going-
And,
going-
and all the humans cared about was explaining how the plot was going to continue after that.
so, well, going back to Kong and Godzilla, I will to Kong real quick. I want to go before jumping too much into Godzilla because I really want to focus on Godzilla too. But Kong's storyline was really
I liked
well
it.
done.
I liked
yeah,
it.
in this and of him just trying to find a family and then him showing up
Yes.
all like buff and shit.
And he's
okay.
kind of aged, by the way. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
I
guys
love
noticed
that. Yeah, the
He's
beard's
got the
bigger,
beard.
the
I
grays.
really related to his toothache problem, man, and I
Dude,
know
same,
you did
especially
too.
After my root
yeah,
canal, man.
Right?
This is the most relatable character
You
I've
know
seen
what it
on
feels
on
like.
cinema in the longest time
Yeah.
because of that toothache.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I clearly understand what you're going through, giant gorilla, man.
Yeah,
I feel the
dude,
same
and then
way.
his relationship with Baby Kong, as I call him.
Hold on.
He's
Hold
not,
on.
he's not a baby. He's not his.
Yeah.
It's not
as
his
I,
kid.
As I
by the
call
way.
him, I said. I didn't say that was his name.
Yeah.
It's like Baby Grogu. I mean, Baby Yoda Grogu.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
refer to him as fucking Carl. Listen,
Carl.
the scene where Kong takes Carl and uses him as a weapon
I
and then
lost my shit.
proceeds to yeet Carl across the fucking field. I felt bad because I was the only one laughing in my movie.
I was fucking losing my shit,
I
man.
thought I was like, no, this is meant for comedic purposes. There's no way this is meant to be serious.
Yeah.
Why is no one else laughing? Maybe I didn't hear them laughing because I was laughing so loud.
Yeah.
But just the thought of like, I'm watching a movie where King Kong is taking Carl, a baby King Kong, and using him first as a weapon and then tossing him at other gorillas. That shit had me. That and the fucking suplex scene where Godzilla
oh.
fucking
suplexes.
picks up.
Yeah, that was badass,
I was like,
dude.
douche. And I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. See, that's where I enjoyed it, man. Listen, Sam, I agree with you.
The,
In
the fight,
first-
I agree. The fights were
Yeah.
were fun.
Were fierce, ferocious.
long.
The,
It's
the,
a lot- it
the
took too
problem
long.
is that in terms of I'm judging this movie as a movie, and as a movie
Makes sense.
it's bad, man. Like, if they somehow could have made a movie where there was like no humans and all we did was follow Kong and sort of his journey to be this lonely guy and, you know, finding, you know, some like this, you know, the child Kong and learning how to be like a father figure maybe, or even just a friend. And even the whole dynamic between, you know, Scar from Scar King.
Close. You were close.
Was that a real slip, or did you throw that in there?
I was just edited that on purpose. Just because when they said Scar King, I was like, all I thought about was Scar from Lion King.
Second take.
And even that whole dynamic between those two was kind of interesting. Like, I think if that would have been discovered, if they would have really taken a risk here and gone with something that we've never seen before, where you only have the monsters and like the humans are basically non-existent, you're constantly in this monster world or something. That would have been really interesting.
Maybe
and there are a glimpse of how that could work.
Yes. No, I agree.
Movie.
This is definitely a step in that direction. And so this film was made around the same time or a little bit after Godzilla -1. And that film focused so much more on humans than it did Godzilla in the best way.
Yeah,
now, I wonder if like because of what we're seeing, and the director did mention a lot of, because like the last couple of films had a lot of humans in them, about wanting to get a smaller human audience, human cast for this one, characters. And wanting to do something like that. I wonder with and if this does I mean, it's already successful, but if it continues being the success that they want it to be, and there is a third film that he gets to do, would they take that risk at that point? And then, all right, no humans for this one, and just go off that.
I don't think it would be no humans, but they would definitely probably give it more time.
I think so.
I think that would be an interesting movie to do. There were moments like you have that scene where Kong and little Carl, as we're calling him, Kong is hanging out with Carl. And you know, they're getting to know each other, and you know they go and like he kills the eel, gives them a piece, and everything like that. I kind of really enjoyed those scenes.
That was great. Yeah.
And there was no dialogue, and it was just like getting to see.
You had to use your own imagination and assumption as to like.
That's why the constant explaining of the plot by the humans really started annoying me, because it not only did it happen like once or twice, but it happened so many times. But like you didn't need all that. There was enough going on with Kong and the visual effects and how they made that character design that you could have just fucking followed Kong and his journey through this whole thing. Yeah,
it picked up for me more when they started fighting more and they started kind of drifting, because it took a while.
The fights are fun, but I mean, honestly, like, is that really, honestly, guys, is that really like when you get out of a movie like this and you're looking back at it, it's like, oh, those fights, like, they're gonna stick with me forever.
Oh yeah,
like,
dude. Fucking Scar King using the fucking skeleton of a skull. Well, that's
so
you, man.
That's
you. For you, it's forgettable.
I don't get it.
Because it just goes over your head.
Sam,
you just lack the comprehension to really understand.
I lack
these
the
fights.
comprehension to understand
for me,
these fights.
Stick with him. Scar King using the skeleton of a fucking skull crusher,
guys,
dude.
You guys, neither one of you guys is wrong. It's fine that you find it memorable, and you will be able to look back at those fight scenes years from now and remember them fondly. And it's absolutely fine for you to say they were generic or they didn't stand out, they didn't make an impression.
It was fun, but as soon as I leave the theater, it's like it's out of my memory. It's gone.
Absolutely fine.
Then I'm sad for you.
No. Don't be.
Here's the thing. I remember more those scenes where like you get Kong's emotion and things like that.
That's true. Yeah.
That's stuck in my head. But I don't know.
I got really emotional during the rattlesnake eating section.
The rattlesnake?
Yeah, when they were sharing the food.
Oh, the eel, whatever, that lake snake thing. Yeah,
that's right.
So,
listen, I can agree with both of you, which is, Sam, I absolutely agree with you, man. This movie, as far as dialogue, the pacing.
I'm sorry, Arturo is. Hey, my beer, man, my beer. Come on.
Okay, I killed it. We're good.
Arturo is causing a ruckus here. He just came out of watching, 80-foot giant monsters, and he's afraid of,
Dude, what are you afraid of, Sam? Sam, do you have a fear?
Yes, cockroaches.
Okay, if a big ass motherfucking cockroach just started walking up everywhere,
I would be screaming like a little girl.
Yeah, so back up. I saw it, I killed it. Let's move fucking on.
That was was, by the
Bitch.
way, I knew that spider. That was Peter. Don't come at me with your attitude. You came to my house and you killed one of my spiders. That spider did great work for the mosquito control and the gnat control in this garage. It was harmless.
I was going to
harmless.
Mosquito candle.
Fine. Until then, refrain from killing my pet spiders. The next intro has to be murderer of spiders. Anyway, what I was saying was,
Circle of life.
and I fucking lost it. What was I saying?
some more things that bother me. I'm just gonna keep thinking more things that bother me. So
No,
there
let's
you
go back to
Let me go
Godzilla
back. No,
and
let me
Kong.
go back.
Yeah.
No, let me go back because
Okay,
this was
go.
an important point, which is I absolutely acknowledge the writing, the pacing, the timing of this, the decisions that a lot of the characters made in this movie. Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to come at you, Sam, and tell you that
the
this
convenience of certain
that
plot.
this is
thing.
even that,
like
yeah,
the
man.
arm thing. I mean, come on. The vet
Yeah,
goes.
the fact that they
he
were
has
like,
this
"Oh,
little
we happen to
Ghostbusters
have-"
thing.
Yeah,
By
no.
the way, it's like, oh, like it's blah 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 blah. This is, you know what?
Absolutely, man.
Project Powerhouse. I forget what
Yeah.
he says. Right, and then
Yeah,
he's like,
they asked
Project
us to
Powerhouse.
abandon it.
And then they just come and then they just go and explain like, oh, you know, we just happen to have been doing this the whole time. And then somehow within
it
like
takes,
a
like, 2
second,
minutes.
he goes over there, he gets the thing, he straps
Yup.
it on, and 5
Sam.
minutes later, Kong is back.
Yeah.
Baby. It's like all
Sam.
of this was just
Hold on.
I'll explain that with a simple 2 words.
fuck you, Sam.
No, that's
No,
3.
oh, sorry.
So
Fuck Sam.
now it's 5 words. It's Dan Stevens and fuck you, Sam. No,
I think that
it's
was
Dan
6
Stevens,
words.
Trapper. Of course, he would have all this.
No,
What?
He
No.
doesn't have it. Arturo.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't
true.
have
He
it.
happens to know why,
Right.
because he's been there before,
Right.
and you
Listen.
were all like, "Oh, he's never been here."
No,
That
Arturo,
says everything.
but you have to acknowledge the fact that in regards to how convenient that all
Yes.
was and how quick it happened.
It
like
was
you,
all a plot device.
In your life,
Yes.
when have you ever been in a position where like they call you and they're like, Arturo, we have a library full of iPads and computers
Look,
that need to be
well, look,
synced
hold on,
to
yeah,
this
hold
one
on.
thing.
No,
And you step
yes.
in and you're like, it went flawlessly. All I had to do was exactly what I needed to do, and it went without
look,
a hitch.
it would have
does.
been
Let
it
me
would have been fine if the answer was Project Powerhouse or something like that. If they would have established something
Prior
in
to.
some point, prior that
Chekhov's
this was
gun.
going on,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't feel so like
Out of nowhere.
they just created this
Coincidental.
because we needed to get Kong to have this
right.
arm thing, and it was just so convenient, so out of
Yeah.
nowhere. It didn't feel earned. Again, you have to kind of
see,
set these things up.
so-
It's fine that was the answer, but that answer wasn't set up in a way that made it feel believable.
Absolutely. So this is what I wanted to get to before I was interrupted.
I'm sorry, it's just
Was trust me, I'm going to be guilty of that as well. It's that while I was watching it, I think maybe 5 or 10 minutes in, I to myself made that decision, which is I'm gonna throw all of that shit out the window. I'm not going. I'm sorry, but after watching all the Oscar movies that we had to watch, that went beyond just
You
fucking
had to.
turning your
You
brain off and watching this. No, not that I had to, but after all of that we watched. You know, your serious movies that were heavy, and it was like, man, this shit.
you
this
also
shit
had to watch
impacted, this was
DC
heavy.
movies during that time as well. So
That was
If you may
before.
recall, if you may recall, I didn't really watch all of them. So. What I'm just trying to say is this was a nice change of pace. And then after Dune, which was, heavy with the action, and it was more of like this was based on a book, and it actually has to be a little bit more to a story. This was just it was nice to walk into a movie theater with my fucking popcorn and and watch a giant gorilla use a baby gorilla as a weapon and be like, yeah, this is fine, man. I'm fucking cool with this.
Yeah.
So if you want my opinion in this movie is if you are fine with that, if you know that walking in, if you're not walking in expecting a movie that's going to explain itself accurately, scientifically, and time, I get it. I get it, Sam. Before you even fucking say anything, I get it. That's what a movie should be. But you know what? this movie has made a lot of money, and
I don't know. I don't know right now. I don't know how the weekend's gonna go. It just started, right?
That's true.
There's
we
no data
don't
yet.
have any projections.
There's no data.
Yeah, right now there's no data.
No data whatsoever.
I mean, it just came out yesterday. so
but
It's
even
gonna
then
make
there's
money.
usually
Fine,
data.
let me just say it's gonna make money.
It probably-
so
the
out
first
there,
weekend
there's
probably,
some
yeah.
fucking people that are willing to watch this. That's all I'm saying, man. Is I absolutely acknowledge. If you ask me for the grade, I'm gonna probably give it.
Wait,
like
hold on.
yeah,
We
we're-
can't go
we're
to the
way-
grade yet.
You're right.
Oh,
Hold on.
grossed a franchise record of 10 million in Thursday night early screenings.
Look at
Okay,
that.
whatever.
One
okay.
day. That's
Look,
way more money than I have. Way more.
Yeah. Yes. I don't think any of us put together.
There you go. A sign that this movie is very successful.
So going back to Kong and Godzilla, yeah, that was a big not nitpick. That was something that did detract from it for me, was how hard Godzilla was sidelined in this.
Yeah.
I loved everything that Kong got, but there just wasn't enough at all for Godzilla. And especially what bums me out is because I feel like Godzilla versus Kong spent good time with both of them.
Yeah.
And
I thought
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
movie was
That
better
one
than
did.
this
yeah,
one.
I agree. And Godzilla, King of Monsters, like that really, really fleshed out Godzilla and really made him like this version of this anti-hero, this more empathic character. So to see how like that's not been given a chance when it's still the same Godzilla does bum me out, especially after Godzilla -1.
Maybe they didn't want to burn people out with Godzilla.
I mean, it's
-1.
possible.
It's possible that because
But,
he's had so much
like-
time to develop Godzilla and the other movies that this was more about.
Well, the
Kong.
directors only directed these past two. It was Michael Dougherty who did Godzilla, King of Monsters. But that being said, his evolution was so when he first showed up being pink, I was not
Yeah.
expecting how this was going to go. I loved
like
the
that.
blue. But now seeing how the film unfolded and how it became a thing that developed over time, it looked fucking sick. And just seeing him be all
Super
ripped,
Saiyan.
yeah, basically. And then those fight sequences with him and Kong versus Scar King and was it Shimu?
that ice monster thing.
Yeah, dude, that
Oh, yeah,
holy
yeah.
shit! And as you said, Ubla, because he rides Godzilla at some point. Like that was
Yes.
so
As they're
fucking
about-
cool.
That was me. I said that as part of your nickname. You ride
that's
Godzilla into the sunset.
Yeah.
But
But I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know Godzilla made that conscious choice of like, no, there are sometimes where I allow people to ride on me.
Dude, I didn't like. I thought I was gonna piss him off.
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense. They had just fought together. Somehow they became friends enough.
Well,
to
they
for-
became friends during Godzilla versus Kong when they took out Mechagodzilla.
I guess, yeah, you're
And
right.
they-
But they were
Queen
fighting.
Mothra-
But
King
they were
Mothra
fighting.
stepped in. But Queen Mothra stepped in.
That's true.
His
Mothra
queen,
did step in, yeah.
Mothra stepped in and was
I
like,
loved seeing
fucking
her
chill.
come back.
Okay,
it was
chill.
so
And not
good
dying.
seeing her come
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Mothra?
Nice to see
Well,
her
I mean,
come
she's a
back and not
phoenix
die.
essentially. She always comes back, but like,
But she's their queen.
yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah,
she
whatever.
stopped
I mean,
him.
whatever.
No.
I mean, I actually, with regards to Mothra, I thought she was the only visual effect that I felt was a little off. I don't know if anybody else.
Apparently, she was added after test screenings.
Oh,
It
really?
was another creature that was supposed to be like this kind of angelic phoenix creature.
The Dragon Zord.
interesting.
Yeah.
gonna be
But
the
going
Dragon
back
Zord.
to
So that could be why.
Did anybody else? So I'm gonna. I guess you guys do the positive. I'll do all the negative stuff.
Go for it. I'm not doing all positive, by the way.
There is the scene, by the way, where they get into this. They get into the this people that have been hiding in this. Under earth, whatever you
emo
call it.
people,
Right,
yes.
right.
The emo
Yeah.
people, and apparently they have
emo
this
people?
protection of being the emo.
Oh, the cocoon thing?
They have this like camouflage cocoon thing, which, by the way, everybody seemed to be able to find this place easily.
Yeah.
After like the humans find it, Kong finds it totally easily. Scar from Lion
Yeah.
King finds it. everybody just comes in. It's just like whatever.
So you're
this
revamp your security.
yeah, they really that thing is not working, by the way. And then they go into this temple thing where of course the human character somehow knows how to read everything so easily.
Yeah.
I guess
She
that,
studied the culture.
I get it, but she
Her
just reads
adoptive
it
daughter
so quickly.
is this
But listen,
culture.
but I will say this, Arturo.
It's
There
just-
was one line where she walks up to a pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She walks straight up to the pillar and she's like, it's the same as the ones in something, but these are centuries much older. And it's like, how were you able to tell
The
that is stone
weathering.
pillar? Even the most trained archaeologists would not
they
be
have
able
a hard
to walk
time.
up.
they take a while.
The weathering.
Whatever.
Dude, weathering is not enough to be like, look how this is just based on how weathered down this pillar is. It looks centuries older than this other pillar.
Anyways, hold on. That's not the part that bothered me. Although her just being able to read everything so easily kind of bothered me. But the thing is that as she's reading everything, it basically spoils the movie for you. It spoils it.
Okay.
It tells you exactly what's about to happen.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
It tells you
But
everything.
is it going to happen,
No,
though?
everything that she says happens exactly as she says it. It like basically spoils the movie, and I was like, "You're just telling me why do I have to watch this movie? You just told me exactly what's about to happen."
Like, I'll be honest. Like, that reminded me a lot of a scene in X-Men Evolution, the cartoon series, where Beast and the rest of the X-Men are, reading up on Apocalypse because he's about to wreck everyone. And that translation was so well done. And like he was like figuring out some words. Oh, like this doesn't translate properly. Like there was a lot of that, and I loved that.
Going back.
So actually, as a personal thing, I've always held it to anytime I see
standard.
ruins in any movie and people can read it, I always hold it to that standard.
Damn.
And this felt very short of that. I'll agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, yeah, she knows the culture.
And then
cool.
I don't know,
but like it was so perfect, a little too perfect.
It was incredibly perfect. Everything was incredibly convenient. And then I don't know if you noticed, but she's talking about how the Scar King, right? He went on top of the earth and wanted to destroy the humans, and then Godzilla trapped them in this one place or whatever. But they're not really trapped. They've been able to get out all this time. They've never. They were supposed to be trapped.
They were trapped.
They haven't been trapped.
It wasn't until Kong released it by accident.
How did he release it? They were always.
When the hyenas came in and he knocked them down.
It opened up that.
Cavern.
Crevasse.
It opened up the cavern.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So
okay,
that's how
never
it
mind.
started. It started.
I was wrong.
Yeah, it started. Anyway, I will say that there was a part for me. Wait, fuck. I lost my train of thought. Sometimes
there's a bunch of parts. I mean, when his favorite character, Trapper or whatever, everybody's about to, the whole big fight's about to happen. He's just like, I got a thing. I got a thing. He goes.
Surprise! I have a flock full of birds.
Yeah, he just goes in 5 minutes or whatever. Somehow travels all the way to wherever the ship was, gets it, and it gets all the the bird things. Comes back, and it's like, oh my god! It was so eye-rollingly cheesy.
Stevens.
I still enjoyed it. Again, I still enjoyed it. I agree with you, Sam. But I was still like, sure, all right, why not? And I will say I was not a fan of what they did with the younger girl's character, Jay?
Yeah, I
because the whole movie, she's complaining about how she feels so alone.
Yeah.
And how she doesn't feel like she has the people. And then finally, they find her people. Yeah. And they're like, stay behind. We can teach you so much, and you can be a part of your people.
Well, we don't know that they told her
that. They offered her. And she was like, nah, I want to go back to exactly where I was when the movie started.
The movie shows that she wants to stay with her mom.
Right.
She does have a
necessarily go back.
The thing is that they don't really develop her character very well. It's just
like the fact that I thought she was gonna accept it, and I thought that the mom or the adoptive mom would have been perfectly fine with it. Like, yes, I am obviously too busy dealing with shit, and I don't have the time to be with you.
Like, she never gave off that feel too. She was constantly like worried about it, and she even talked to Trapper about her journey as a mother.
Still, though, you can't look. It placed her life in danger. The decision where she's like, "I want to go with you." And she's like, "No, there's monsters."
What is this?
The hand signals.
You're probably like costing very offensive.
Probably.
What? Why?
Because emotions, for all he knows, I don't know.
No. What I'm just saying is that scene where they're about to leave to Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
And she comes last minute. Yes. And she's like, "I want to go with you." And she's like, "No, we can't. It's too dangerous."
I go, you go.
I kept putting myself in her position with Uble, and I thought or any of my child, Moses, the other one. Yeah. What's his name? I look at that and I'm just like, no fucking way.
But look,
would I, under any circumstances, I don't give a shit if they're like, "Oh my goodness, we need to leave now. The portal is closing." Yeah. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, all right, just stay by me and do what I say. Let's go." Fuck no. Where's CPS?
Uble.
Where's CPS doing all
are
this?
his biological father.
Yes.
You've raised him within your culture.
So
that
I guess
he knows
it's fine
that he
it's
feels
not her child?
No. That he feels and he knows this world. He's comfortable here. He loves his home. He loves where he is in life. Wait, but you have an adopted child whose
Arturo.
culture was lost, and now she has a chance
But
to
you're
connect to
you're
it.
going on this mission where you damn
Yeah,
well
they lead
know there's
dangerous
gonna
lives,
be,
man.
Right.
She grew up with Kong, dude.
That's
It's
not.
like,
But she
she
got out
grew
of
up with
there.
Kong. Yeah.
She got out of there. So why it'd be cool? Like I guess it's cool to put you, a child's life that doesn't know any better, in danger because you've already been in danger.
Dude,
you know, hey,
she
you're
clearly
a refugee,
trusts the child enough,
so
and
you
she's
already know the hard life.
she's like a preteen, dude. She's not just a 6-year-old, man.
She is under the age of 18. She is a minor. It is the parents' responsibility to keep her safe.
Yeah, and she
And the
did.
decisions-
She kept
No.
her safe the entire time.
Because, okay,
Because of the
This-
monsters.
yes, because somehow
All
she
right.
got lucky. I'm just saying, man, I didn't agree with that decision. A
I
lot
feel
of-
I feel your
It's
pain.
valid. Yeah.
All right.
still really enjoyed this movie, though.
Anything else, Arturo? You wanna say before we get to the grades?
Yes.
Go
Oh
for
my
it.
god.
Do it. This is your chance.
So again, the fight scenes were awesome. Let's see. Oh, actually, I do want to say something that's like an overall, really like general thing. Is I just love that we are in this era where we have such totally different Godzilla movies. And like just as a fan of Godzilla as a whole, like it's so wonderful to be in this time frame. There was a really cool interview that I sent everybody that I know no one watched that had the director Adam Wingard and the director.
I am planning to watch it. I just
thank you.
you sent it today, man. Like
Yeah,
an
on
hour
the
or
way-
two ago.
Yeah, legit.
It was like 3 hours ago. It's 11 now. It sent it like at 8.
Yeah, but I have
Out of
things going.
respect, I want to sit down and watch it without distractions, not while driving,
Well,
not with my kids, not while
I was
doing
hoping
other
you would
stuff.
watch it leading up to this.
Ah.
But and director of Godzilla -1. And they're
Yes.
just talking about their mutual appreciation for Godzilla and where they came from, how they see things, and just to be in this thing now where it's like they're both in charge of two separate continuities, two very tonally different Godzilla universes as a whole, and they're like, yeah, man, we're making Godzilla movies. Like, so I just thought that was really fucking awesome. And yeah, I had a great time with this film. Again, I do have my nitpicks. And things that I did bother me, but overall, yeah, it's had a good time.
Yeah. Anyways, well, are we ready to grade these things? Are we ready to grade it?
Yes.
I think
Let-
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Let's start from this side, and then we'll go here. Then we'll
Yeah.
start with like I guess the middle, one end and then the other end.
That makes sense, I guess. So like
that's
I've been
good.
saying throughout this episode, I personally enjoyed this movie because I personally enjoyed this movie, if that makes any sense.
Of course.
My circumstances, my experience watching this movie, the fucking day that I had, specifically the day that I watched this movie, all of those factors contribute to the fact that I enjoyed this movie. Do I feel like this is a movie that is high ranking or well put together and like consistent and it crosses all of its T's and dots all of his I's? Absolutely not. Therefore, I am going to give it a, if I have to choose one, I would say it's I'm torn between a C+ and a B-, because I really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it because of other factors, not necessarily because of the movie itself. I'm going to give it a C+.
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 All right. Yeah.
I can go with
I
the
thought you were the
C+.
numbers guy.
Oh, you know what?
What
I
the
think
fuck
we
just
should
happened?
all go for grades.
Grades? Grades are so.
Do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. This guy
Okay.
changes all the time. He
That's
goes
true, he
numbers, grades, thumbs
And then
up.
his
But at
numbers
least I'm
don't actually
consistent.
match. the
Yeah.
No,
ones.
I do.
No.
Are you kidding me?
You've
He's
said
done
things.
percentages too.
No, yeah,
He's
When
done
have
everything.
I
No,
ever- no, you're wrong. No.
You've
Then
done
what the
things where
footage?
like it's a B-. Like, yeah, it's 79, and like that's nowhere
Where is
near
that
a
wrong?
B-.
Where is that wrong?
A B is in the 80s.
Yes.
No, that's why I'm giving this movie a 68. C+. C+ 68. It rhymes.
He's also done decimals. Like he's gone like percentages and 7.5.
Fractions too at
Yeah.
some point.
Okay, it's up to me.
C+.
I'm debating between a D+ and a C-.
Oh shit.
Here's okay. in terms of positives, like I said, the visual effects I think are top notch.
Hell
I
yeah.
actually think they're better than Godzilla -1. I disagree that Godzilla -1 won the visual effects award. I think the creator got robbed. I think they voted for Godzilla -1 just because I don't know, there was some like heart thing going on, some emotional attachment. They weren't looking at the visual effects.
-1 deserves everything.
They weren't looking at the visual effects. But you know, whatever, it's fine.
The Academy is wrong.
Godzilla's
Yeah,
an
the
Academy
Academy's
Award
wrong.
winning.
Yeah.
Where
Academy's wrong.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I disagree with them, but whatever. I still think they were worthy in the sense, like, for God's sakes, there was such a small group for that budget, and they made those visual effects.
Yeah.
So they're worthy in that sense, but the creator had amazing visual effects. Anyways, going on, visual effects were great. I did like the parts where you get Kong's emotions and the parts where there were no humans, and you got a little bit of this world that's going on between the monsters and the animals in this world. I think if they would have focused more on that, it could have been a really great, unique Godzilla or King Kong movie. Maybe not Godzilla movie, but a King Kong movie. So having said that, with all the shit I've talked about it already, with the bad human characters, over-explaining the
Don't
plot.
forget the Kong using Carl as a weapon.
That was fine,
When you're grading this, don't forget that.
because I do think they do some good things. I'm gonna decide on a C-. Just C- is where I'm gonna
good.
go with.
Right,
C-.
nice.
I got a C- in college a few times.
And
All
this
right.
is 2 thumbs up.
My grade for me is
Arturo claimed
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I had a great fucking time. Yeah,
deserves
again,
it.
there's things that complain about that. No, there are things that detract it. It's not at the very top of my favorites with the legendary films, but it's definitely somewhere in the middle, I'd say. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch the originals. I mean, the very first couple. But I did prefer Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
This
ultimately,
is
still had a
why
good
I
time.
think you need to change your grading system, because if this is 2 thumbs up, then I'm guessing Godzilla versus Kong is also 2 thumbs up.
Oh yeah, 2 thumbs up.
But there's
they're
no
on the
way
same
to
plane.
differentiate
Yeah.
between your
'cause, like,
acclaimed movies.
mean,
There,
Maybe do 2 thumbs
I
and
see
an
what you
index.
mean. No.
how
okay.
is
No, I totally-
Thumbs
Aquaman
and a
2 and
pinky.
Poor Things both got 2 thumbs up? Like, that doesn't make any fucking
Well,
sense.
because then, okay, I get that. I truly get what you're saying.
Siskel and or Ebert was wrong.
No.
Because from what I understand, they were heroes of yours.
Well,
they're the reason why you do
No,
what you do. Sorry, Arturo.
It's just cut me off. Whatever.
No,
Fuck
no, no.
you. Yeah.
I got that glimpse. Let's go. No, go. I'm sorry, man.
Going back to the question you asked me, Sam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before everything went sideways, because then I feel like there's too much. What differentiates like the B from the B minus?
there is.
and
That's where you need to come to
and
this.
now there's like
But
12
hold on.
different categories.
Hold on, but there is something different, because you
Yeah.
just said with full confidence that you liked Godzilla versus Kong more
Yeah.
than this movie. So there's clearly something that differentiates these two
if
movies.
someone were to
They're
look
not
at your
both
yeah.
2 thumbs up. They maybe you should go with maybe a numbering system or a stars system or something that fucking tells me
tires,
why
Michelin.
I like stars.
Poor Things is obviously
Okay.
better than Aquaman 2.
No, it's true. It is.
So yeah, but your grading
There were 2
system
thumbs
doesn't
up.
tell me this. Your grading system tells me
Dude,
that
you know what? Keep it
Poor
going.
Things,
like to see
Oppenheimer, Aquaman 2, this
Yeah,
movie
I
are
had a-
all exactly
I had a
just as
great
good.
time. This is okay because I had a great time. 1 thumb up is I had a good time, and then sideways thumb is I had an okay
But
time.
there's levels of great time. That's why I have A plus, A minus, because I have levels of a great time. Like all of those are great, but
Yeah.
there's levels of a great time,
Of
and then
a
there's levels of a
beyond
good time.
greaterness.
B plus,
Yeah.
B minus. That's why I do
Dune
the
Part
grading
2
system.
did break my rating system, so maybe I do
exactly.
need to look
That's
into.
true.
Yeah,
it did.
I think we need to have a full episode where we decide what your
my
new
grading system
new
Yours.
grading system needs to be, because this thumbs
Yeah.
up thing is just not working for me. It makes me angry
I can fuck
every
with stars.
time.
I will
yeah.
It does give me anxiety, Arturo. There are times where I'm randomly driving with
Yes.
nothing to do,
You
or nothing
too.
to do anything, and then
You
I'm like,
too. How the fuck?
Listen, this has
is
always been
Aquaman
at
2
first,
2 thumbs up.
At first, it was like, what do the emojis even mean? Like, what separates one emoji from the other emoji? I don't get it. And then you changed it up, and I was like, oh, good, you're changing it up. And then it was
it's
like,
even more confusing. I
Arturo
think.
Claim is better than Arturo approved? Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's also on
was
Instagram.
acclaimed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. And then now you're coming at me with thumbs. Now I have to add thumbs to all of this. No, I
The
think
thing
we
is,
have
I
to.
thought
I think we have
the
to
thing
help
is
you
that
come
I
to
thought
one.
with because we had initially said it was going to be 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up,
Yeah,
and then it was going to be
sideways
1
thumb.
thumb up, 1 thumb down, sideways. I thought there was enough levels there.
Even that's
So for you to so for me like if 2 thumbs up is a top level, that's like Doom Part 2 for sure for you,
Yeah.
right? Because
Okay.
it's like your favorite movie of all time now. So that means like
I'll do
Godzilla
stars.
X Kong has to be like
okay, I'll do stars, and I'll give this.
these are all 5 stars.
I'll give this a 4 out of 5 stars.
4 or 5 stars? Okay.
Damn, that's
I'll do
pretty good.
stars. I'll do
Okay,
stars
okay.
for that
Pretty
one.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do
all
stars.
right.
Yeah.
So Doom Part 2 is a 5-star
It's a 5.
movie.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
And Godzilla
I
versus
can list
Kong
the
is a 4.5.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
4.5 stars.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's,
Yeah.
okay.
So this is a 4 out of 5 stars for me.
Well, man, in
I like
my suggestion with this new rating scale, please like try to discover what it would feel like for a 2-star movie to be there. It doesn't maybe like a 3-star movie is still a movie that you enjoy.
Yeah.
But
No,
like
there's plenty of
but
3-star
more
movies.
on like
Yeah.
on
I
the
feel like in the
generic
past year
scale,
you've
you know.
had-
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've had
I
that.
feel like in the past year he's had a movie where he's like, I was.
Which
not
one?
really- it was. I wanted to say it was a horror movie. Was it?
Well, I hated Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
But we
that's
didn't
something
mince
else.
that
Yeah,
one.
We
We
didn't mince
didn't,
that
no.
one. I could look up the movies from last year.
Well, whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
my entire
Let's-
rating
we'll do this.
scale.
We'll do this off.
I'm
Anyways, please
Where
tell
were
us
we?
what you thought of
going on?
Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back, and please like and subscribe. And as
Yeah.
always,
Have a dark night.
Have a dark night.